Chodesh Elul. This Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh Elul. Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Elul. It's a very powerful idea that I want to share with everybody as we get ready for Chodesh Elul. We saw this week, I always like to highlight when there's a confluence of the Daf Yomi and the Parsha Shavua. So this week, the Daf Yomi on Daf Nun talked about a raven, and also in the Parsha Shavua, we know that a raven is one of the birds that's not kosher. It says a raven is not kosher. Where does the Daf Yomi talk about a raven? Remember it? Remember we talked about if there's a deadbeat dad, a dad who doesn't want to support his children, we say to him, we go into the middle of the town and we say, even a raven supports his children. And look at you, you're not even supporting your children. Even a raven supports his children. So the Gemara asks the question, does a raven support his children? But the Pasuk says that God provides bread to the children of the ravens because they call out, they say we need food. So the mama and the papa raven are not supporting their child. So how can you say even a raven supports its children? So the Gemara's answer is, who remembers the Gemara's answer? One is a white raven and one is a black raven. So the white raven, so Tosafos says there's two different types of ravens, but Rashi says no. The raven starts out in life as a white raven, and the parents don't want anything to do with it. Then, as it gets older, it turns black, and the black raven, the raven sees itself, and all of a sudden the raven wants to support it. So the raven, this is the word for Elul. The raven transforms itself. The raven transforms itself. It goes from a white raven into a black raven. And that's a simon for all of us. We have to take the month of Elul to transform ourselves. How do we transform ourselves to go to the next level so we can be supported by our parent, by our Father in heaven, by our parent in heaven, by Hashem Yisbarach? How do we transform ourselves? Very simply. What we have to do, everybody has to do this month of Elul, is to take upon ourselves a spiritual challenge. If you're going into the month of Elul without taking on a spiritual challenge, you're not giving yourself a shot to succeed in the month of Elul. So I want to just give you an example of what we're starting off in our yeshiva, the month of Elul. This Shabbos, davening nates. And by the way, you can even daven nates wherever you are. Even if you're not with us at Shabbos, nates in this area is 6:31. You get up, you start to daven at 6:05. You can organize a nates minyan if in your town, wherever you are, daven nates. You take upon yourself the idea that you're going to start Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, at the earliest possible time you could daven to Hashem, 6:05. I guarantee you, if you do it, if you say you wanted to do it, people will be joining with you because you're taking upon yourself. You're saying, I'm not going to just coast into the month of Elul. We're not going to do that. We're not going to coast into the month of Elul. We're going to take it on, take it by its horns. And then the next morning, what we're doing on Sunday morning, we're driving because there's a beautiful davening in New Jersey. We're going to leave the DC area at 2 a.m. Anybody wants to go with us? We're going to travel from 2 a.m. to get there by 5:50 so that we can daven nates for a beautiful davening. Because when you have a beautiful davening, you cannot take it for granted. You can't take it for granted. And so that's another example. Then the night of Slichos, we're going to learn here Mishmar 2 hours beforehand. Then we're going to learn several times for Slichos. We're going to have Beis Medrash night and Mishmar night. We're going to learn because we are going to take on challenges of ourselves to grow together as a yeshiva in the month of Elul. So that is my bracha to everybody. Don't leave here tonight without thinking to yourself, what is the spiritual challenge I am taking on myself for the month of Elul? That's what you should be thinking tonight. We all need to be thinking, what is the challenge we're taking on? Any questions? Okay, one more thing. You know what we're seeing tonight is we're seeing some of the most